Spider-Man 2 PS5, all 19 characters confirmed. Yuri Lowenthal and Najee Jeter reprised their respective roles as protagonists Peter Parker/Spider-Man and Miles Morales/Spider-Man from Spider-Man, 2018, and Spider-Man, Miles Morales, 2020. Other cast members reprising their roles include Laura Bailey as Mary Jane Watson, Darren DePaul as J. Jonah Jameson, Jacqueline Pinal as Rio Morales, Griffin Poitou as Gank Lee, Mark Ralston as Norman Osborn, and Stephen Oyoung as Martin Lee/Mr. Negative. Tony Todd provides the voice and motion capture for Venom, an extraterrestrial symbiote capable of bonding to human bodies as hosts. Jim Peary voices and motion captures the character Sergei Kravenov/Kraven the Hunter, the leader of a faction of mercenaries called the Hunters, whose members include Maxwell Markham/Grizzly, and who seeks to hunt superpowered beings including the Spider-Men. Tara Platt will reprise her role from Spider-Man as Yuri Watanabe, a disgraced former police captain and ally of Peter Parker, who now assumes the vigilante identity of Wraith following the events of the game's DLC campaign, The City That Never Sleeps. Kurt Connors/Lizard is also featured after having previously made a brief appearance in the mid-credits scene of Miles Morales. Harry Osborn, now motion captured and voiced by Graham Phillips after originally being voiced by Scott Porter in Spider-Man, will also appear in the game in a more prominent role after making brief cameo appearances in both Spider-Man and Miles Morales. The game expands the prior entry's New York City open world, such as Brooklyn and Queens, as accessible boroughs during the main story campaign and while free-roaming in the game's open-world sandbox, instead of solely being restricted to Manhattan. 1. Peter Parker/Spider-Man. Peter is announced to return as the main character of the game, this time reportedly taking on Miles Morales as his superhero protege. 2. Miles Morales/Spider-Man. Fresh off the back of his own successful game in 2020 and animated movie in 2023, Miles is set to join forces with Peter as the secondary protagonist, bringing his own unique abilities of camouflage and bioelectric powers. 3. Mary Jane Watson, MJ. Fans can look forward to the iconic character rekindling her relationship with Peter, as well as likely being able to play as MJ on side missions, with many details reportedly being unknown. 4. Venom. After a slew of films reintroducing Venom to fans, Venom's iconic rage and symbiote infections are set to wreak havoc across New York as the character becomes the main villain for the game. 5. Kraven the Hunter. Sergei Kravenov, better known as Kraven the Hunter in the Marvel Universe, is set to begin his hunt in the Manhattan borough of New York, ultimately coming across the two Spider-Men. 6. Grizzly. Maxwell Markham is set to be introduced to the PS5 game series as alter ego Grizzly, making his debut as one of Kraven's team of hunters targeting the super abilities of people in New York City. 7. Harry Osborn. Peter Parker's best friend is set to return in Spider-Man 2, this time with a suspected more significant role after he awakes from being incapacitated since the first game. 8. Norman Osborn. Norman has been called back as mayor of New York after taking time away to look after his son Harry Osborn following the tragic events of the first game. 9. J. Jonah Jameson. The iconic fan favorite J. Jonah Jameson, known for his anger and comedic lines as former Daily Bugle editor-in-chief, is set to return after his small role in the Miles Morales games. 10. Gank Lee. Gank first appears in Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, whereby Gank is presented as Miles' best friend as well as a tech whiz. 11. Rio Morales. Rio Morales, otherwise known as Miles' mother, looks to rejoin as city council for New York as she looks to come to terms with Miles as he progresses as a superhero. 12. Prowler. Aaron Davis, the uncle of Miles Morales, has been detailed to follow on from his introduction in his nephew's game. 13. Lizard. Geneticist Dr. Kurt Connors created a reptilian serum and later became a lizard, who has been an iconic villain character to Spider-Man, making his debut in the 1960s. 14. Mr. Negative. Insomniac has since confirmed the return in a trailer for Spider-Man 2 with his involvement unclear. 15. Wraith. Yuri Watanabe, she is set to return as a vigilante under the alias Wraith with powers and further details being unknown. 16. Black Cat. Having been in a previous relationship with Peter Parker when MJ and Peter were split up, the character looks set to return to cause further drama in the series. 17. Taskmaster. He is set to return in the latest release to cause even more havoc following the introduction of Miles. 18. Tombstone. The side villain and biker gang leader Tombstone is also set to return with Peter's first game plot leaving him in prison. 19. Shocker. Another secondary villain as part of the Sinister Six in the first game, Shocker has been confirmed to return in some capacity.